What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to tell you about something that happened to me in a county jail during visits, where a sergeant, for whatever reason, had negative feelings towards me, had a problem with me, and decided to take action. So at the time, my girl, who is now my wife, was visiting me every visit, basically. Twice a week, she was driving an hour, waiting hours just to get in, and it was a horrifying thing for her to have to go through. I told her not to and advised her not to, but she insisted, and I would never deny her that. She was doing the time with me, so I appreciated it very much. But, during these visits, sometimes the cops would fuck with people, okay? One time I had a guard come down and tell me that my visit was over. I waited like an hour for this visit, right? And they had me in the Sally Port held. They wouldn't let me go out into the visiting room, and I see my girl out there. She's sitting there for an hour. By the time they fucking finally opened the door, I kept fucking kicking it and shit. They let me in. I sat down. I'm supposed to have I think it was a 30-minute visit. And I checked the clock before I sat down. 7 minutes passed when this fucking cop walks up to me and says, "Stand up, your visit's over. Go back to the unit." I'm like, "What the fuck you talking about? My visit's over." The fuck out of here, man. You made a mistake. I said, "Go check the time. Go check the record." Nevertheless, my visit was over. I had to go back to the unit, right? But because I had some words with that cop that day, I believe that had something to do with what happened soon after. I think it was a couple visits after that one. So this one particular sergeant had control over the visits, okay? And he was a fucking asshole, and he took advantage of this, and he loved the fact that he could interact with these females that were coming, guys, girlfriends, and wives, relatives, sisters, coming to visit these guys. He had control over that shit. People had to wait hours, and he would fucking use that to his advantage and flirt with the girls and try to get them to go out with him. A real piece of shit, okay? So during this visit, this was when I was in this jail for well over a year already. I had long hair grown from when I went in. I went in like this, and my hair grows real fast. I had real long hair already. And my girl handed me a hair tie, something to just tie my hair back. So whatever reason I needed to, when I fight, when I work out, whatever, she gave that to me, which was no big deal because I had many of them shits in the jail already. So she hands it to me, and they fucking run down on me right away, pull me out, search me, and the cops that searched me did so at this guy's request. They were cool with me. And they're like, "Yo, Hollywood, you got some contraband? You got some shit?" And I was like, "Nah, man, I don't got nothing." Like, empty your pockets. I showed them everything. I had the thing. Like, they called the sergeant. Like, "Sergeant, he doesn't have anything. He's got no contraband." He's like, "No, he does." And they checked again. He said, "Check again." He came in, strip searched me, did everything, nothing. Boom, that little fucking black rubber band hair tie. He said, "That's the contraband." And the other cops are like, "This?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "He has these all the time." He's like, "Man, fuck that. That's contraband." And he's not only is it contraband, but you're going to the hole for a month. You're going straight to lockup from here. And not only that, your girl out there, that pretty girl that comes to visit you, she's banned from ever coming back into this institution forever. Forever. Okay? Now you could imagine how that would affect me. Fortunately for him, I was already, I knew that I should have got out of there anytime soon. I was already, close to being shipped out and going down to state prison. So I wasn't going to be there long. Had this happened in the beginning, and I lost all that time and opportunity to visit with her, it would have been way, way worse. But nevertheless, I had some words with that sergeant, and I said, "This is what the fuck you want to do. You sure? Lock me up over this bullshit?" He's like, "Yeah, you're fucking tough guy, right? Mr. Hollywood, yeah. Banned forever, your girl." It's okay. So they take me out. I go to lockup. Coincidentally, the very next day, two females walked into that township where the jail is, police department, and filed sexual harassment complaints against that sergeant, claiming that he propositioned them and suggested to them that for sexual favor, they would have longer visits with whomever it was that they were visiting. All right? So when this happened, now remember, guys, this guy fucking loved the fact that he was in charge of the visits. He was a big shot, and he thought he was real fucking hot shit over there. So when this happens, somehow administration came to this fucking conclusion that I had something to do with those two females. So they came to me in lockup, one of the captains, and started telling me. And he's like, basically, you know, are you aware what happened with Sergeant Hopkins? And I'm like, nah, what happened? I know he locked me up here for some bullshit for no reason. Like, yeah, well, he had some sexual charges filed against him. Were you aware of that? I said, nah, I don't know anything about that. Okay, so the conversation continued, and it came to the point where they're like, okay, so what would have to happen for these charges to go away? Again, suggesting that I'm in control of this, and I sent those 2 females. So I said, man, I don't even know because I have nothing to do with that. They're like, well, hypothetically, if you did, what do you think a fair resolution would be for what happened here? And I said, well, if, again, hypothetically, I would suggest that he be removed from working in the visiting room and banned from ever fucking working visits again. Forever. You ban him forever. Hypothetically, that should be enough to satisfy whoever is behind this, and those charges should go away. And very next day, I got word that Sergeant Hopkins is no longer ever allowed to work in the visitor hall ever. So all his fucking hot shit, bullshit show and taking advantage of people and that abusing his power disappeared like that. Back to the cell block, motherfucker. And also coincidentally, the following day, the charges were dropped against him. So miraculously, it all worked out. I was satisfied that he lost that because I knew how much he fucking cherished that, right? And, you know, I had to do the 30 days in the hole, but fuck it. I'll take those 30 days for that. And again, guys, after this, I had words with him. He came down to the lockup, maybe a week or 2 later. He came down. And he's like, yeah, he started telling me, so you had something to do with this? And I was like, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about, man. And he's like, well, you have a problem with me? I said, I have a fucking big problem with you. You're a fucking piece of shit. You know exactly what the fuck you did. You're a fucking faggot, punk motherfucker. That's the problem I have with you. And I told him, I said, we could leave it at this, or we could escalate this and take this to the next level. You tell me what the fuck you want to do. I'm willing to let it go like this. You want to fucking keep going? You want to get more serious than this? Trust me when I tell you, the next level is some shit you don't fucking want. Trust me, motherfucker. And that was it. That was the end of it. So she was never allowed to visit me again there. I was probably there for a couple more months after, which was okay, I could handle. And down to state prison I went. Never saw that fucking punk sergeant again. But I was satisfied that it worked out that way. Only because I know he loved that fucking position and that status and that power he had and the access to the females. Loved it so much that I was cool with that. But, again, this was hypothetical that I was behind this shit. Had he taken it to the next level, he would have fucking regretted it for the rest of his life. So, if he happens to ever see this, Sergeant Hopkins, you fucking piece of shit, faggot motherfucker, you have no idea how lucky you are. You have no fucking idea what could have happened, potentially, to your punk ass had you continued with me. So, fuck you, is my message to you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you next time.